Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching another Edge on-Site knowledge-based video. Today's video will cover the inactive items report, and we'll just cover the general phenomenon behind inactive items. And this video will really be for higher level users who are not only familiar with navigating the administration portal, but with tracking production. And also it requires you to be a little bit comfortable with using change orders inside of the Edge. So if you feel that you are not knowledgeable in any of those areas, please see our other videos that focus on those areas. And in terms of change orders, please reach out to your sales representative to purchase some training time to get uh, more information on change orders and how they work, or you can reach out to tech support and we can also provide some insight as to how change orders work with Edge on site. So the first assumption we need to make for today's video is that we have a project with some hours and some actual quantity tracked inside of it. And by looking at our labor screen, we can see that we have in fact just that. And I want to take you guys over to our pages and show you a visual of what this production looks like and which shape it's coming from. And so we just have one page inside of this job. And if we flip things over to our condition and look at this area shape here for this roof, we can see that we have some production marked and all the hours and quantity for this project are coming from this shape right here. Now, let's say that this project has been going on and we've completed, this amount based on this visual representation, but we just got in a change order that says that we actually need to put a couple big skylights on this roof. So we're going to need to tear off some membrane and do some demolition work. So this would require us to create a change order inside the Edge estimator. So I'm going to pull up my Edge estimator. And again, you need to already be familiar with change orders and how they work in the Edge in order for this video to really apply to you. And here we have one change order scenario created. This scenario is in change order mode. And so we're just going to check out this change order and go about creating the necessary changes. And so we've now checked out this change order scenario, and let's jump to our takeoff screen. And let's go ahead and use our deduct tool to create those skylights that we need. So let's just go ahead and put a few of those in here. Here's one, and we'll use our replicate tool to just put a couple more. And we'll do a total of 6. All right. And now that we've successfully placed our deducts, we see our red status indicator to indicate that we deducted some quantity from this condition. And now we're ready to check in this change order scenario as so. And once we have this scenario checked in, we are going to accept it. And the changes will automatically flow right from here into our administration portal and consequently the iPad. So in order to make that happen, we're just going to hit this accept button and click OK. And now we see that our change order is finishing up its acceptance process, and we see that it's now been successfully accepted. So we can go right to our administration portal and give this a refresh because the changes come over about instantaneously. And so let's reload our administration portal page here, and let's take a look at the labors inside our condition again. And we now see the skylights that we added in from our change order. However, when we click on our labor items, we're not seeing the same green shading that we saw before. And if we actually were to come out of our page, we see that no completion is marked and we have no hours. And we can verify that by coming back to our labor screen here. So what happened? We had a shape that had not only quantity but hours assigned to it, and then we did a change order that changed the shape itself. So the way that Edge on Site looks at this phenomenon is when we went in and we added these deducts to this area, we essentially created a new shape. Every shape that comes over into Edge on Site is a unique combination of shape points. And when we draw these deducts inside of this shape in the change order, we are now changing the shape points and therefore changing the identification of this shape behind the scenes. And so what Edge on Site will do in this scenario is wipe all the quantity and the hours from this shape and let you start anew. Now, we do have a place where you can go to reference all the hours and quantity that was wiped from this shape. And so if we come out of our pages, what we're going to do to access that information is go to our project overview screen, indicated on the toolbar by the title of the project here. And what we want to do is we want to use our shortcuts and go to our reports here. And we see we have an inactive items report. And this report is tailor-made for scenarios just like this. If we go ahead and give it a click, we're going to see the 20 hours and we're going to see all the quantity that came from that shape. So this is the quantity that was marked as inactive once the shape identification was altered. And so I just wanted to make you all familiar with this process. That way, if you had a shape that had some hours and production, or if you see on your labor screen that you're missing some hours and quantity that you thought was there previously, this is one of the thought paths that you want to explore in order to figure out what's going on. And of course, you can always export this as a PDF or an Excel spreadsheet. And so this data is always here for you to take into account in the general scheme of things, but we just want to make sure that you all are aware of how Edge On-Site handles this process. That was our video on inactive items. Thanks for watching, and please reach out with any questions.